Thank you, John. All right. So let me just, uh, walk you through what we are. So as I said in my introduction, we develop sustainable smart villages, right? And our motto is to empower lives and catalyze development. I am not saying that I will be the, one who will be doing all the development, but what we are saying that we will be the one who will be playing the catalyst role in developing in the development process. Uh, we spent many years, years of research invested on the ground. I have been to almost 7 countries, and of course, numerous villages in India, understanding the challenges and the ground reality, and converting that research into products and solutions. But we also realized that the I also realized that the product and solution has to be such that my local people can use it. So we do have technology, but technology made simple enough so that you know people on the ground can use it without problem. We have implemented this solution, so I'm not just talking about theory. We have practicals, we have experience, we have done it, shown it, and won many awards and accolades all over the throughout the international awards and accolades we have won, and that has really confided that yes, we are on the right track. And I hope by the end of this talk you will also say that yes, we are on the right track and we can work together. So what is our mission? Mission is to empower communities to improve the quality of life. The quality of life is another thing that needs to be defined, and there are many ways to define it. We'll talk about later, but essentially we need energy, we need water. This is where we work on energy. Water are the interventions for agriculture and for employment. Food, water, energy nexus. This nexus, our interventions revolve around SDG 6, 7, 9, and 12. And our target is SDG 8, which is decent work and economic growth, eventually leading to sustainable communities. So these are our parameters of SDGs that we are involved and working on. Okay. Our definition of smart village is not that you set up a digital connectivity to village. What we need is we need energy, we need water, we need health, well-being, livelihood, agriculture, education, and good governance. Combine it all together, you eventually develop a smart village. A smart village is not an end, it's a journey. So you basically go and start your journey to become eventual smart village. I draw my inspiration from one of the ex-presidents, one of the nuclear scientists, and a less known writer who wrote a book called Target 3 billion. 3 billion is the people below poverty line across the world. Right? So that is the target, he said. And how do we target them to move them up the value chain? And those are the principles we use in our model to develop sustainable smart villages. We do that through multiple technologies we have developed. So this is for water, this is for
One
energy
sec, Ashok.
management, this is for
Ashok, one sec. Michelle,
yeah.
could you? Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have
No, I was
developed
just
water
asking you
solution,
to mute.
energy.
So sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, Ashok. There was just noise.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So water solutions, energy solutions, as I said, those are our main focus. And again, using technologies to make it sustainable. and the focus being on how do we develop livelihood. So we have a model to develop livelihood and progress, economic development, entrepreneurship. How do we develop those things? And then our technology makes sure that locally I can operate, remotely I can support from my command center, and I have a local small, mobile app to interface with my villagers and the community members. So these are the basic uh, building blocks of our technology that we have developed. They said we do hands-on training even during our implementations, so that these people, one of them can become the operator, and these people can take care of the solutions of the interventions when we are not there. So this is, sustainability and affordability is achieved by training the locals and making sure there is an employment even during the implementation phase. Our principles are essentially three. Like you heard, IEEE says energy, education, and entrepreneurship. We believe energy, water, resources are multiple that you need. We believe entrepreneurship, education, which is skill development, and empowerment is the most key to achieve sustainable development. This is the principles of our development theory. And we believe that whatever we do must be anchored around people, planet, and progress. There has to be a balance. We are too much focused around progress and profits. We need to balance it for the planet and for the benefit of the larger population. That is the theory that we are employing. And we focus more on community than individuals. That is the difference. And of course, this process is not single, it is a multi-stage process. You keep on making interventions until your community reaches the sustainable smart community stage. I think my internet, and these interventions don't need to be the same. Every community is different. So like in different communities, we started with different solutions, but eventually they all reach the same sustainable smart village status. So this is my theory of change. Start small, you continue to work on it. You will need to do, we feel that we should start with energy and water, and then continue to develop enterprises around it. Finally, develop an entire microeconomic zone with market linkages, and then eventually you achieve the smart village status. On the sustainable development goal, as I said, we focus on SDG 8, sustainable livelihood, because we believe that once people have that decent work and economic growth, they can themselves take care of SDG 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 10 results out of that, right? So once you have a decent work, economic growth, gender equality usually comes and inequalities are reduced. We achieve that through interventions that we have developed, anchored in SDG 6, 7, 9, and 12. Everything is always taking into account of 3, 13, 14, and 15. It has to be sustainable. It has to be climate friendly. And most importantly, we believe that local and global partnership is important. We do local partnership with the community, the NGOs, the people there, and global partnerships like this, IEEE Smart Village, universities, and global technologies, and bring them all together to start a cycle of development. So it's a repetitive cycle of development. You can go and circle back, and over years, sometimes over generation, we will achieve the sustainable community status, and peace and justice will prevail after that. So this is our sort of theory of change. And that is why we believe that target SDG 8 is my main target. So I'll just go over and show you a few examples that we have done, and then I will end. So this is first village we done. Share my here. I'll just.
Chotki, this sleepy hamlet doesn't just look like a lost paradise. The remote village
Let
located
me know
in the
if you are
tiger
able to
reserve
hear it.
is not connected to the electricity grid. Cutting off.
It's a little low, but we can hear it, yes. Or at least we did.
It's freezing up.
The brainchild social entrepreneurs
We've given them 200 watts.
smart village in Odisha. Ashok's company has developed a smart nanogrid technology that allows the village's entire electrical infrastructure to be monitored remotely by the company's staff. Meters and sensors collect data on energy consumption, making it easy to remotely manage supply and demand. Villagers pay tariffs based on how much
You're on mute, Ashok, and
Apologies, I don't know when did it break, but it just told me that it is reconnecting.
yeah. Well, we heard about the saving of electricity, and so that's okay.
You were
So
on the video, right? We were on this
yes,
video.
yeah.
Okay,
Go right ahead.
that's fine. So we have not lost much. Sorry, go there.
can be
Yeah.
a game changer.
So this is a local guy. We train him
Ashok
so
says
that he can
the
take care
model
of.
can be a game changer.
By doing smart microgrid, what we are creating a basic infrastructure. We are creating a catalytic infrastructure on which many services will ride. Irrigation will ride, agricultural production will ride, food processing can be done, cold storage can be done, health services will come, tele-education services will come. All of these together provide the development for the village.
Many in the village are sensing new opportunities. Shrikant Adavar recently bought a photo office. He makes copies of ID cards and land deeds for his customers. As
Maybe for the examples, you could just give us a couple of examples of how when it was implemented, how it helped.
Okay, I will stop this video. Okay.
But
And
if
we
the
will go to
video
the
is
next.
available, if the
Yeah,
video is
video
available,
is the one. Yeah, video.
you put-
Yeah, video is available. It's online. I can just send you the link.
no, just,
Yeah.
if you could just put it in the chat for those people that are
Yeah,
here,
we'll do
that would
that.
be good.
We'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what we have transferred them from this, no light, all darkness, to multiple of not only access to energy but access to livelihood, right? We won a couple of awards for that. We have done another island. This is an island village. Again, it was completely dark before we intervened, and the community moved from darkness to luminance. And now we are working on bringing water to it. So the second stage is on. Again, this project won another Smart Grid award from the community. This is just the irrigation intervention where within a few months after the intervention, we could see the farmers, becoming, growing, growing more food and increasing their income. substantially. This is one intervention that we have made in Rwanda, and same model. So there is one entrepreneur who sells water to others and charges for the water, and the farmers have started to grow more food and more throughout the season, right, throughout the year. This is another big project we are working, 120 acres of land, almost 150 farmers, and we are lifting the water from the river into all these lands through smart irrigation and a microgrid to achieve sustainable livelihood. This is the concept that I discussed to you about microeconomic zone. So here there is a center where a cluster of villages. At the center of the cluster, you will create marketplace, sort of a local enterprises so there are many entrepreneurs coming together at one place, and we provide them all the amenities of electricity and water, whatever is required, and you make intervention in the cluster around, in the villages around it, and those villages become supply chain to this center and to the market linkage. So you create a complete supply chain, productivity and livelihood activities, so that even in the small communities, there will be activities, there will be a centralized activities and linkage to the market. As I said earlier, we have my trip to Ghana, Burkina, Mali, Gambia, and Cote d'Ivoire has led to many such experiences. We have signed some partnerships in Ghana. We have already implemented with local partners. Again, I will emphasize that Sun Moksha is not in these countries. There are local entrepreneurs, local businesses that are our partner, and we help them, we provide them the technology support and all other support, so that they are the one who will be running and generating livelihood, and they are the entrepreneurs that we are supporting. We have all our efforts have been recognized universally in India and abroad, and you can go to our website and find a lot of media coverage, and we also publish our technical results. We work with universities and publish our work so that it is disseminated to everybody. So to summarize, we basically are trying to create hope through empowerment, energy, education, and water. And our goal is to empower lives and catalyze development, bringing in energy and water solution. All these has to be localized solution. Empower the local communities to run and manage these, and develop education skill centers so that they can be trained to run and create more and more entrepreneurial opportunity. So this is what we look for into our into our interventions: educated children, employed youth, happy farmers, and hopeful mothers. They are the one who said, now we have hope. Now I want my grandchildren to become like you, right? So this is what excites us, and this is what guides us. Thank you.
No, I think we all need to thank you. And the most pressing question comes to me, Ashok, is whether, in fact, our team members can work with you to adapt your successful solution in their local areas. And I noticed that you are a partner with USAID. I do want to make clear that Prosper Africa, in connection with USAID, is also providing technical support at no charge, as well as funding support when there's a basic operation. So the vision I'd like to ask you, Ashok, is whether my company can partner with you and IEEE to bring into the network all of these people that I've brought and anyone else that comes into this, because transparency is so necessary. Also, we're working with someone that's not here right now. His name is Don Polk. He is willing to provide the compliance so that we're able to track and also, as you mentioned, promote what we're doing. That's why it's so critically important that we treat this as a docu-reality series. So I'll be making available every week this opportunity for us to move forward. So Ashok, I'd like to open the floor to any questions by any of our participants, particularly His Excellency Balde, because as I understand it, he has government issued land where we can begin on this tomorrow.
So we'll open up to others. You asked me about transparency. So I did not want to go into too much technical details, but this is the technology platform that we have developed, where we are collecting data through our controllers from the local sensors, meters, and assets, processing it on our cloud software. And that cloud software is accessible to anyone, anytime, live, right? So that brings the greatest transparency that we could bring. That yes, whatever we have done, is it working? It is not working. We should also know if there is a problem, right? So getting a real-time data, getting real-time information, and information at your fingertip brings the greatest transparency that we can ever imagine. Now, USAID, and it was a USAID and DST funded project, Millennium Alliance Award, that is what we had won in India. Now you asked me, what about US and if you can work? So the slide that I showed you earlier, this one, is actually developed for the Navajo Nation. We are working with someone in Navajo Nation, the Diné College, in developing or bringing Sun Moksha success into the Navajo Nation. That is what they want to. They are projecting it, that yes, you have developed things, you have done things. How can we bring that into Navajo Nation and go on the same development process, rather expedite the process by leveraging our learning and get onto the development path. So the answer to your question is yes, that is the main purpose. And just to make it clear and sure, we are setting up Sun Moksha USA. So there will be a Sun Moksha entity in USA to achieve these goals that we are looking at.
Excellent. Thank you so much. There was one person that joined us just before your presentation began. If that person, Egbijalev, would like to introduce themselves, now is that time. If not, then I'll open the floor for any questions for Ashok.
Glad to answer.
Hello, everyone. It's evening here in Nigeria. It's 6:30 p.m. My name is Victoria, and my colleague joined earlier. His name is Ade Mayodeji from Nigeria. So we are from one group company, and we are partners with some organizations here in Nigeria where we are building a project one, and then we have been in talks with Mr. Andrew. We'd like to say thank you for this opportunity to join a team of project managers, and I would like to say thank you very much for the opportunity to view these wonderful presentations by different personnel from different countries all over the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us, Victoria. His Excellency Balde, I know you're traveling, but are you able to unmute yourself and address this from the Gambia perspective or not?
Oh, thank you very much. I'm very, very excited from what I've heard so far. And I believe I will send you some correspondence about the opportunities we have in the Gambia for extension to the African continent at large, inshallah.
Thank you so very much. Also, before I leave, I'll put into the chat the link for our daily meetings with the Indigenous, excuse me, Indigenous Peoples Alliance. Ashok, that's based here in the United States, of course, but the chairperson is John T. Moss. I was happy to introduce him several years ago to Herschel Daniels with Friends of the African Union. So they've collaborated, but in the chat, Ashok, I've also put some disturbing information. Here in the United States, none of our 50 states are even halfway to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. And the ones that are left furthest behind are those of African descent, Latinx, and the indigenous people. So what we hope to do is join the United Nations Global Compact. They have a 2021 through 2023 strategy for expanding what they call their local networks. If you look at a map right now of the world, you see the places with the highest likelihood of people, most people likely to die from the adverse effect of climate change are those places where the least number of local networks. So Ashok, we're looking, as I mentioned to Joan, to get all of our nonprofits and civil society and small, medium enterprises to join together, not just to join to greenwash or whitewash, but to join as a group so that we can work collaboratively together on one or more of the Sustainable Development Goals as our docu-reality series to drive this narrative for our children. And with that, I'd like to take 2 minutes and share with this audience a hip hop version of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals that was developed back in 2015. So bear with me just a moment.
So let me just say, first of all, I'm happy to help, but my role here today is from the North American Working Group. I'm a 100% volunteer. So I just want to, I want to see people submit projects and get some solutions going and making people earn a living. I hope I had to take my, I hope I didn't jump into somebody else's space. Sorry about that if I have.
No, perfect timing, Joan. And the only commitment I held you to was that you would explore the idea of joining the United Nations Global Compact, which you already agreed to. That was the only statement that I made, committing you to anything. All right, so I brought up this brief video. It's only like 2.5 minutes. And if I can share, technology allows me to do so, I'll share it with you.
And by the way, Andrew, we have shared all the information on the chat, all the video links and website links.
Excellent.
With goals of peace and sustainable development around the world. Their mission is huge.
Well, I too am having challenges, but the link is in the chat. I'll give it a few seconds to see if it'll start.
Yeah, it will be a challenge.
Yeah, it's a really good video too. So do watch it if you can. So so Andrew, do you have any final words that you want to say? Oh, you're on mute.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we're actually about 90 minutes into this. I'm gonna, again, for those that have to leave, go. And for those that can stay, stay. I'll be here for another 30 minutes no matter what. But I do want to address Sustainable Development Goal number 8, which Ashok mentioned. And I like to direct everyone to globalgoals.org. That's where you find all, oh, here's Pastor Johnson joining us. Yes, so if you go to globalgoals.org, you'll find all 17 of the Sustainable Development Goals. But for the purposes of this meeting, Ashok, I do want to bring up the fact that they're not just 17 goals. There are technically 169 targets. So each goal has a particular group of targets. So I'm going to just briefly go through Sustainable Development Goal number 8 with you, and that's to promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. For those that you cannot read this, I'll just begin by saying economic growth should be a positive force for the whole planet. This is why we must make sure that financial progress creates decent and fulfilling jobs while not harming the environment. We must protect labor rights and once and for all put a stop to modern slavery and child labor. If we promote job creation with expanded access to banking and financial services, we can make sure that everybody gets the benefits of entrepreneurship and innovation. So I mentioned to you earlier, Joan, the intent for us with what we call our IAHBA, Ad Hoc International Advisory Board of Goodwill Ambassadors, Advocates, and Activists, is to recruit thousands of new members to address specific goals. We like to begin with number 8, and that includes increase aid for trade support, develop a youth employment strategy, sustainable economic growth, diversify, innovate, and upgrade for economic productivity, promote policies to support job creation and growing enterprises, improve resource efficiency and consumption and production, full employment and decent work with equal pay, promote youth employment, education and training, end modern slavery, trafficking, and child labor, protect labor rights and provide safe working environments, promote beneficial and sustainable tourism, universal access to banking, insurance, and financial services. So with that is Sustainable Development Goal number 8, and that will be the driving force of our weekly meetings every week through the through Africa Day next year. And we hope all of you are invited to our daily meetings held in the afternoon with the Friends of the African Union and the Indigenous People Alliance, because you may or may not know, just last week, the United Nations agreed to a resolution to establish a permanent forum for the people of African descent. This is also the International Decade for People of African Descent. And of course, my personal view is that we're all of African descent. So we all have to give recognition to our efforts to bring this solutions to the world. But again, we just had Dr. Gerald Johnson join us. Dr. Johnson, I'll be happy to share this recording with you, but please, Dr. Johnson, you have one representative here, but if you could unmute and introduce yourself, I would certainly appreciate that.
Good morning. Good morning. God bless you all. Thank you for this opportunity. I've been having to move from point A to point B, as we all do. Busy people are the people that usually they find, they look to, trying to get my best ways to put myself. Busy people are the ones that they usually look to get things done. I'm part of the Friends of African Union. I'm here located in 4 counties: LA County, San Diego County, Orange County, Riverside County, and I've been a chaplain with California Corrections Rehabilitation for years, and I'm so thankful and grateful for Brother Ken Wyrick, who introduced me to Mr. Herschel Daniels, and I'm telling you that it has been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to find out there's so many things that are going on that can help us work with bringing some justice. Working at bringing in some justice for what's going on. And Mr. Williams, we thank you for all of your work. And with that being said, I am here to listen. Email is the best way to contact. And I'm just thankful for the great opportunities. And there's a lot of people holding up signs and marching here and there. And I don't have anything against that, but I find out there's a whole lot that can be done when you involve ministry and policy. My little mantra is ministry draws money, but policy pushes programs. If you have the funding, but that funding is not connected to policy, then you're not going to get very far, because that funding stream will dry up. But if we can stay connected to policy, and thanks to our CEO Williams and our chairman Herschel Daniels for the Friends of African Union, and we just thank you. And we're here to stay.
Excellent. Thank you. Very well. So Joan, I'll turn it back over to you. I've got another 20 minutes to be here, so I'll be here regardless, but I'll turn it over to you. If you and Ashok need to leave, you may. Otherwise, we're going to keep going. Ball's in your court, Joan.
Great, thank you. What a great session. Ashok, is there anything else you wanted to add
No, I think Andrew, I would like to talk to you because there is a great opportunity with this current call for proposals for the under the American Rescue Plan. So there is a lot of emphasis on creating jobs, a lot of emphasis on reskilling, and a lot of emphasis on the disadvantaged indigenous communities, etc. So there is a great opportunity, there is an opportunity, and I think I fully agree with Dr. Johnson that the interventions and the efforts that we are making, it must be supported by policy and the government, because we are in the infrastructure sector. This is not about giving a cell phone or a digital device to someone. So we are not in a B2C business, we are in a B2G business, right? So business has to work with the government, and together we have to bring this change. Without that, it is going to be much more difficult than with the support of the policy and the government.
Thank you. So you guys will follow up, both of you, right? I've been trying to get you guys to talk to each other, by the way, for a month. I just wanted for the record, okay?
Yes.
So just want to say that.
Thank you.
But things happen when they happen. Ayesha, did you want to say anything before we go to?
No, not at the moment.
You're good? Okay, great. So Dr. Fred, I have been looking at your face all this time, and I feel like you want to burst with something. Am I correct?
Oh, okay. Well, it's just a great presentation that I've actually heard today, and I'm very sure we'll make a great impact in this our country. I mean, continent also. So I appreciate the opportunity to be here with everyone, and like with my opening remark, I'm actually open for professionals, business. Something that I did actually measure that I actually want to put here before any person leave. Recently, I was made a council member for Nigeria and Morocco business board. And that's what we have to do, is to actually work with the government to identify business within these two countries, and be able to impact people's lives. So this is a great opportunity, a great platform for me to be able to also implement that business opportunity in that board. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I do want to say, before you go, I do want to say that Shola Akula, he's not here, but he is represented by Sylvester. As I mentioned, over the last 7 years, his organization has been able to deliver millions of medical and other supplies to Kenya and Lagos, but they were able to do also for India. So what I'm suggesting, Ashok, is that we streamline this process so that my organization can execute an MOU with your organization, and then I can bring all these other various networks together, because that's the pathway that we're on. So I look forward to having that conversation as soon as you're ready.
Sure.
Good. I'm glad you said it, because I was going to say, okay, what's a plan going forward? I'm a process person, as everybody knows, so I like to know what's the next thing. So
that's it.
So a couple, yeah. So great. So we've got a go forward plan with both of you. That's great. Please, people, think of an idea. We want to work with you in North America. If you do want to work in Africa, and you're part of Andrew's group, work with him. We will work, Ashok and Andrew will work together to bring that all together. We can help you make that happen. So, we're not limited to, we're representing North America in terms of projects, but we can help you with the other regional working groups. And if Ashok is on the committee, if it probably be a higher level than the regional working group, Ashok, you may want to go to Smart Village directly. And I had sent, by the way, Rajan is not on WhatsApp, which is where I've been contacting him, but I guess maybe he's lost his phone or something, because I noticed
Yeah, his phone has gone bad. His
Yeah,
phone
yeah.
went
So
bad.
that explains it. I called him, and normally he answers my calls, as everybody does. So I realized, I said, he must not have his phone. So maybe the email I sent to him was to speak with Andrew, because I felt that Andrew had a more sort of a global network, more than just North America. So you may want to initiate that conversation with him.
Sure.
As well. So Andrew's there. I'm taking care of what I said I would take care of. So there you go. And maybe you can set up a meeting with Rajan, and I would suggest that you do it with Ray as well, but that would be your choice, because he would then have a sense of the monies that are needed, or, but that's just a suggestion. So,
okay.
Yeah. And those of you who are working with Andrew, please let him know about your concepts and work with him. But whatever, please, let's get some projects going.
Well, all right, team, you heard it. There's money waiting
So
for
that
us.
is the goal that Joan and I set. Yeah, that's the goal that Joan and I set, that in this 1 year, in the very first year of North American Working Group, we have to have at least 3 projects.
Three projects. So guys, here's my plea, our plea. Help me achieve my goal in getting you funded.
I have a question. I have a question, Joan.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you say working projects in North America, you mean projects that originate in North America, or do they have to be on North American soil? Because my main project is in Ghana, but I'm in Kansas. So when you say North America.
Go ahead, Ashok. Were you
Okay,
going to answer, or
so,
okay, you want me to
yeah,
answer?
I can answer
Okay.
that. I can answer that. The North America, so we have multiple working groups. So when we meant North America, we meant North America land.
Yeah, yeah.
And for Africa, there is an Africa working group. I am part of that working group. And the project can be done in Africa, but that will not count towards the North American working group, North American project. So when we meant, this is region, this is physical. There is one thing which is physical, that is the project. It has to be North America.
Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification. That's very important.
Yeah.
Dr. Johnson, you have your hand raised.
Yes, sir. I am so spread, and I have so blessings dripping off of my hands. But one of my colleagues has been working in Africa, and I'm not sure of exactly where, but they did not have a borehole, and so ministry came in and dug the well and got the borehole established, and now there's about 5 different villages now that don't have to go down to the river, and kids get water and get snatched by an alligator. We have the borehole, but there's also a hospital that is in need of beds. They don't have beds in the ORs and things of that nature. And I really want to, I'm going to connect Andrew with him and to you guys, because he really has a heart for it. And I know that you all could really, really help. And of course, as always, I'm available to assist too, but I'm excited to hear that. I'm excited to hear what you all are doing.
So I just want to, let me please clarify something, just so that as we go forward, the monies that are available is not for charity. It is for you to, it's an economic development seed money for you to start something. I wanted to make sure that I complete this so an entrepreneur can apply. It's like they're giving you money so that you can make a better society.
Well, guess
If
what?
you wanna-
He's in that process too, because there's an economic piece to it also. So it's still.
I just
work.
want to clarify,
And
absolutely.
Thank you
Yeah,
for that
yeah.
clarification.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking with Andrew, CEO Andrew, to make sure that we're totally in alignment with what you're doing.
Right. Thank you. Sorry,
Awesome.
Andrew, I interrupted you. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say that because Dr. Johnson came in after the presentation, I make sure he gets the video so he'll be able to know exactly what the qualifications are.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. That's great. That's great.
And Dr. Johnson, you are a medical doctor, or you are a doctor like me?
Oh, no. I'm a doctor like you. I have a doctorate in ministry. I have a master's degree in Christian counseling and a doctorate in ministry from Bible College. Yeah.
Because I was
Not
going to
an
tell
MD.
you that, e-health is another area where we need to focus and we can help. There is a lot of effort going on in telemedicine, telehealth.
You said India?
I'm in India. I'm working in US also, but
And
this
please,
project is currently going on in Africa. This project is going on in Africa, and there are some new developments happening. So, health is one area that energy is also required for health.
Yes,
it's not just
and that's why we really stress, if you have a concept, start to do the work, because then we can help you to integrate what is needed in order to get the funding. We just need to go fight for you.
Oh my goodness.
Sylvester, I see you're unmuted. Do you have a statement or question, Sylvester?
Yeah, sorry, I overheard Dr. Johnson talking about kind of appealing for kind of a hospital bed and all that. I don't know if that's correct. Yeah, so what I'm saying, so you can talk to Prince Andrew, and we can from Canada see how we can help bridge that gap, how many pieces you need and what you need medically, and then we can.
Awesome. Well, CEO Williams can connect us via email, and we can start that process. I'm about to jump out of this seat right now. Excited.
Okay, great. So it's 30 past 11 night here, so we will say good night.
Yes.
we're all gonna take it off. We're all gonna take leave. I'm giving
So just my email is in the chat. It's joankerr@fbsc.org. If you need it, please ask Prince Andrew. So let's get working and save the world, guys. We need to save the world.
We need to save the world. Hallelujah. Yes.
All right.
And we can do it.
All right. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Yes.
We're doing it.
We're going to wind it up.
All right.
Love you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Ashok. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.